Peace, 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 peace. Yeah, man. Look, we doing a three-peat. We doing it. Damn, Shaw Prince. Already, G? Shit, I hadn't even got through the intro. You already in the building, man. What's the science, man? Peace. Oh man. Peace, peace. All right. So I gotta all right. Peace. Yeah, man. Okay. Okay. All right. So I gotta send this to God. And then let's see. Hold on, let me go. How's that? Okay, the audio's cool. Go, go. Okay, okay, the audio's cool. All right, peace, peace, peace. Let's do it like that. Let's do it like that. All right, all right. Yeah. Hey, look, this about the time where my intro will be popping off. Hey, look, something's in the works. It's in the works, but gotta be patient with the God. Gotta be patient. Let me turn this down because it's a little too loud in my ears. Peace, peace, peace. All right. How do I see today's math? That's peace. So, matter of fact, hey, we're going to get into that when because I'm gonna ask Minister Freedom that too. Oh, see today's math. Peace. Now, I'm not look. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna get to you, Shaw Prince. Let me finish this stuff. Um, alright, and then let's see, all right, peace, peace, peace. Okay, that's peace. Indeed. So today's mathematics is knowledge at a cipher, all being born in knowledge. And just to keep it simple, knowledge, you know, um, when you take it through the etymology, right? You go all the way to acknowledge, which means to be aware, right? And a cipher is a person, place, or thing in its entirety. That's 360 degrees. So, how I see it is just to be aware in any circumstances around anybody you see, and just be aware of your surroundings. Not only in the surroundings, but the people that surround you. You see what I'm saying? Indeed. So, peace. How you see today's math? Let's see. Can't post comments to some destination. Okay. Uh, okay. Shit. Mm, okay. Whatever. That was on some. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Indeed. All right, indeed, indeed. So how do you see it, Shaw Prince? I see today's mathematics. All right. Okay, so if I can become an idea behind that Earth, on the Earth podcast, you know, start doing it. Um, peace, peace, peace to the God. Peace to the God.
Man, peace, my man. How you feeling?
All wise and
Well,
civilized, man. Doing well.
yes, sir, man. Happy to be
Okay.
in the building
Peace.
with you. Peace to God.
Indeed,
Peace to you,
indeed.
man. Peace
You
to
getting
everybody.
everything ready on your end?
Huh?
I said you getting everything ready on your end?
Yeah, I'm good. Like
Okay.
audio and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm tight. Yeah, I'm about to getting pretty much getting everybody out of the room and stuff. I'm pretty much good.
Okay, that's peace. That's peace. Yeah, you know, in my videos, you always hear the kids in the background, so it's all peace. You know,
Oh yeah,
hey, the
man.
babies are the greatest. I'll be
Yes,
right
sir.
back. G, you got to close the door.
All right.
All right, peace, peace. Indeed. So, G, how this is going to go? I don't know if you watch any of the interviews. All right, so people are going to be in the chat, right? And they're going to, you know, ask questions, hit us up. I'm gonna put it. I don't know if you could see the comments, but I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see it like that, you know, or so anybody watching the video can see.
Word. Yeah. Peace, God. I got you. Absolutely. I'm with it.
Oh, all right, you you in the building? Okay, I see you in the chat. All right, so
Hmm.
Shaw Prince, that's peace. Today's today's math is knowledge as cipher. Knowledge is the foundation. Cipher is the first place thing. Let's try to pay attention to the foundation of every cipher. All right, that's peace. All right, so you know, peace to God, peace to God. The you know the famous Minister Freedom Allah in the building.
Man, I appreciate it, God. Thank you.
Indeed. So you know, let's start off with an intro, man. Like, tell us, you know, who you are, what you about, G. You know, just tell us who you are.
Man, peace, man. I come in the divine name of Minister Freedom Allah. I would say I'm definitely one of Allah's 5 percenters. I'm a
Mhm,
student, I'm a scholar, a father, man, a mentor, an activist, a individual, man, that's striving and that's working to use my power to help lead lost individuals, man, in a positive direction. At no limited time, and I spend every day in as much time as I can, pushing that goal forward, spending time with my family, engaging with my sons, and adding on to my own self, man. So, I would consider myself one of those guys, man, that's out here to put in the work. Um, Besides that work, I'm also been very instrumental in the add-on of the platform known as the 5% Connection.
mhm,
We do, we got a small up and coming platform on Instagram,
mhm,
TikTok, Facebook, man, where we, use social media as a platform to further educate,
mhm,
influence, and teach people about the knowledge and the culture known as the 5 percenters, man. So that's just a few things I'm working on, God. Currently, I'm serving as a student coach and facilitator, and working with at-risk youth, man, to better to better their behavior and mindset. So that's the Clark Kent, that's the day job.
Mm,
You
mm.
know, I'm content. I also do.
Pardon self. Go ahead.
Oh, you good, guy? I also do motivational speaking for schools, organizations, youth groups, man, to just like I said, help motivate young men. So, yeah, man. I mean, that's who I am, man. You know what I mean? In a small nutshell, man.
That's peace, G. That's peace.
Yeah, peace,
Man,
God.
that was a whole bunch, and a lot of that we're going to get to because I got my own questions. You feel me? Um, so let's go back, to some of your early history, man. Where'd you where you grow up at? Where were you born? Where'd you grow up? How was your early childhood, G?
So, I came up in the city of Detroit.
Mhm,
On the west side of the city of Detroit, man, I came up just like most young individuals. I wouldn't say necessarily in poverty, but at risk youth. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Mother
mhm,
working, father not immediately in the home,
mhm,
other men, other individuals among the community, kind of serving as those pillars to help kind of work to guide me in the right direction. However, I wouldn't say that I came up in a home where education was super the focus, more
mm,
so was something with yourself and being successful and pushing something forward in your life as the focus.
mhm.
So that was real dope, man. Played sports, and got introduced to the knowledge of self in college, man.
Oh, that's peace. Hey, that was the next question. How did you hear about the 5%?
So for me, bro, I came up, I got introduced with the knowledge of self and the culture known as the 5 percenters, man. Um, through while I was in school, man, I read one of my uncle's book. I don't want to say my uncle's book, but me and my uncle was resting together, man, in Atlanta. And before I was going off to college, he had a book in there,
Mhm,
and I was like, "Yo, man, I'm going to school. I need to take a book." So I grabbed this book and threw it in my bag. Maybe like 6 months, 7 months later, man, I'm on the campus. Tired of getting high, tired of kicking it, tired of going to parties, tired of smoking and
mhm,
I looked over at my little shelf, man, and grabbed this book
mm,
and read that boy cover to cover, man. Stayed in my dorm room a couple of days, just coming out to eat, and it was like the weekend on like a little break, you know what I mean? Because I went
mhm,
to a little HBCU, so I stayed on the yard. And yo, God, I remember coming out, and that book was How to Hustle and Win by
mm,
my man, Dr. Supreme Understanding. So, you
indeed.
know, I took this book Knowledge to Boring, and it was like, man, it was on from there. I went out in the cab, I stopped eating pork, I was like, yo, bro, I'm good on that. It's got 100%. I'm
Indeed.
snapping on my homies and cats that was my mans. I mean, I'm bombing cats out. I done got all these little pieces of information and the good ship Jesus and the slave trade and you know what I mean, the destruction of the black civilization and the message to
Mhm,
the black man and Malcolm X, and it was like I was, it was a blast. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to the knowledge of self. I read Dr. Supreme Understand this book when I went
mm,
home for the break in Atlanta, through emailing people in one of the guys' other books, Knowledge of Self Anthology, I was able to plug in with the guys in Atlanta. Um,
indeed.
well, I really plugged in with a guy in Houston. He plugged me in with the guys in Atlanta, a guy in Dallas. I'm sorry, and boom, went plugged in with the guy, caught the train. God met me at the Martyr joint, and the rest was history.
What year was that, G?
Man, I want to say like 2012. 2012,
Mm,
2012, 2013, like 2012, 2012, 2012, 2011, really. Like, yeah.
mm. And, hearing the Black man is God for the first time, you see, did you read it first or did you hear it?
I read it first.
Indeed. So, reading
Mhm.
that, how did that, what was that reaction just reading that?
I mean, bro, for me, it was very impactful because my whole thing was like this, bro. I had never I had never heard nobody say no shit, no stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it was like, the God was kind of God had a little part in there where he built about the black man as God, and then he went into um he went into a quote from Frederick Douglass
Mm.
that for 40 years I prayed for freedom and received no answer until I prayed with my legs.
Mhm. Yeah.
He quoted like a Asian quote, like man who stands on hill with his mouth open, waiting for roast duck to fall in will soon starve.
That's
And
big.
it was like a light bulb, bro.
Mhm.
That it wasn't no God in the sky.
Mm.
That only through civilization, righteousness, or righteous mindset, living a righteous life, and then creating the reality that you want for yourself, that you could change your situation.
Mm.
Um,
Indeed, G.
and the mathematics from there on, there and of. So yeah, that's what it was like for me, man. I mean, it was blinding. It was
Mm.
blind. The truth was blinding.
Indeed. You see, your history is almost parallel to mine. Because I got it. Uh, I have met like Supreme Understanding and Saladin when they were on like a book tour. It was like 2011,
Mm,
and they had like a seminar over here in Seattle. And Supreme, well, Saladin went up first. It was peace, and then Saladin went up, or not us, pardon self. Saladin went up first. Supreme went up then, and then he presented some of the stuff, the how to hustle and win, some of the pictures in the book, and I'm like, damn, I need that book. So I got the book, you know, read it, front to back, just man, I was just hungry for it. And then I bought a whole bunch of his books, you see. So then I got Knowledge of Self, the anthology, and
mm,
I found my educator in that book. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of our history is kind of parallel.
yes,
So
sir.
meeting the gods in Atlanta, right? So
Word.
Allah True Land, right?
Yep.
That's the name, indeed.
Yep.
Allah
Some
True
people,
Land.
some people, some people call it a lost garden, but
Yeah, I know.
it's one of the most accurate names. About the accurate name I pretty much deal with is lost true land.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So how was it meeting the God or gods for the first time out there? What was that
I mean,
first introduction, first meeting like?
it was dope, bro. I mean, for me, it was like, the guys was real welcoming.
Mhm,
It was real brotherly. It was real like, that you got the impression that you was around people that cared.
yeah,
And for me, that was real deep because it was like for me coming from like Detroit, it's like, man, you kind of come from this culture where it's like, people don't just really, you don't really meet a lot of people unless they like your family or somebody from your hood or somebody that that just care about you just to care about you,
indeed.
that have a genuine love and genuine interest for your well-being. So I was like, coming into a culture where it was like people who was, eager to see a person interested that want to learn was dope, and it was impactful.
Mhm,
And like I said, the guys was all well, it was a very warm current, man. Guys like I Atomic, A Law, Justice, Love,
mhm,
uh King, man, Master Reson, Allahu Akbar, you know what I'm saying? He ruler, you know what I mean? It was like just great gods, man. That was just like real on the square dudes. Even Supreme Understanding, man, Black Mind. I mean, it's just I can go on and on. God, it's a bunch of gods. A bunch of great guys out there in Atlanta, man, that showed me mad love. Just Free, man. I mean, it was just guys that it was just like a bunch of guys that was out there. However, it wasn't the same type of culture that was there in D Mecca, but
mhm,
it was definitely the love. And I was like, okay, man, this is real dope right here. This is all love and real positive right here. And Jihad pretty much took me through, pretty much gave me my degrees up until like the 1 to 14, and going
Mhm.
up into 1 to 40. By then, I had moved to D Mecca.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you
I
were
moved
done with school.
when I moved to D Mecca. I was in the 1 to 14.
Okay. That's peace.
Yeah,
That's peace.
the whole science says I was born and raised here in D Mecca,
Mhm.
but I went to school. Like
Mhm.
I left, went to high school in 11th grade, and went to Atlanta,
Oh,
graduated
okay.
down there, and then I went to college at Alabama State after graduating from high school in Atlanta.
Oh,
So
okay. Indeed.
I went to college a couple years, went back home in Atlanta for a year, and then I came back home. But like during them last couple years in college, being in Atlanta, that's during the time I was getting knowledge of self. So I
Okay.
had took a name for myself, kind of had degrees, was really already on the path. By the time I came back home here to D Mecca, came back here to D Mecca, and my educator Jihad, he had linked me with the guys here.
Mm.
And guys like Empower and God Allah, and they told me where the class was.
Indeed.
When I popped up to the class, it was a room full of gods.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a little
How
different.
was that walking in there?
I mean, God, it was a little different. It was different. It was different. It was ill because I don't, on first sight, it was almost, I don't want to say it was the opposite, but the current was definitely a little colder because it was like, what I realized, what the God showed me in that moment, and not saying that this ain't nothing that the guys in Atlanta don't
Mhm.
have, because they do. It's just that, the gods here, of course, going to represent a different type of personality, a different type of
Yeah.
individual, because you're dealing with a different demographic, a different
Mhm.
geographical culture. You're dealing with a different subculture which exists in the city, right? So
Indeed.
it's like the gods in D Mecca was like, they cared, and they cared in general and about you, and they do care, but it was also this strong air like, yo, we care about this knowledge.
Mhm.
Like we care about these teachings that help save our life and that uplifted us. And
Mhm.
we ain't for nobody that's in here half-assing with it. And
Yeah.
we ain't let have stuff with you. Who you say you is? What's your name? Who gave
Mhm.
you knowledge? Oh yeah, what's your name mean? What how
Mhm.
you spell your name? What's your name? Mr. Brand? I mean, it was like, oh, hold on. Okay. Whoa, what's today's degree? Well, how do you see that? Da. What's this? And I mean, it was like, oh, snap.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's peace. I like
you,
that. I like that.
the gods, they see that was they were the gods was the first people to really like examine me.
Mhm.
It was just that when I was in Atlanta, I wasn't the guy. I wasn't around them as much as I was when I was here in D Mecca. So
Indeed.
it too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like when I came here to D Mecca, I really got in the fold, which I always suggest to students and people to do is to stay around, is to get around guys, spend time with the guys, because
True indeed.
kind of took me through it. They put me in a hot seat, and
Ain't nothing like the hot seat, huh?
yeah, they showed me and helped me understand that there was more stuff. That it was so much that I didn't know,
Mhm.
and as well as it was a severe and serious emphasis for needing to know it,
Mhm.
and they helped to bring that greatness out, man. So yeah.
That's peace. That's peace. Shout out to the gods.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
what was cool, it was like once I really had it and got founded in D Mecca, when I went back to Atlanta, I was able to really bond with those guys then, because I was
Mhm.
like, they had seen me first coming in, and then was able to see me, you know, all the way with my head together. And I got a lot of great brothers, and I spent a lot of great time in Atlanta, man. Brothers like I said, Allah Justice Love, my man, I had Tommy. You know what I'm saying? As well as the new era of gods in Atlanta. My man's like Nala Sincere and Shah Preem, and you know, uh,
Mhm.
Truth Sincere. You got a couple young builders out there, man. I like all
Indeed.
ATL.
Peace to God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
peace to
So,
the gods.
everybody watching, if you got any questions for Minister Freedom, put it in the chat. This is interactive. We builders. So when you were saying, um, you was in college, you went to Atlanta. You said you had some degrees and you had your name, right?
Word.
Um, so was your name always Minister Freedom when you first got it?
No,
Okay.
no. When I first got the knowledge, my name coming into the knowledge was Ra C. Freedom of Law. Ruler of Law C. Equality, Equality. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Or RACEE. Ra C. Freedom of Law. You know what I'm
Indeed.
saying? Um,
You always had the freedom.
yeah, I always had the freedom. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So that was the name I first took for myself. So it was like the way I broke that down. I always liked it raw. Because I liked it like Rakim, and I always thought that like that Rashan, that Rasheen. I always thought that shit was fresh, right? So I
Mhm.
was like, I want to do something different. My educator, the guy who gave me the knowledge, his name is Jahad Sealah.
Mhm.
I was like, yo, I'm gonna rock that C. I like that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, Ra C. And I knew
Mm.
that Ra meant light. So I was like, yo, when you got light, you can see. So I was like, yo, I'm the light bringer. So I was like, yo, Ra C.
Mm.
And you got the light and you could see, you could find freedom. So I was like, yo, Ra C freedom.
That's
You
peace.
know what I mean? But it was like God, you know, I had never really took that shit through the real examine, through the real breakdown,
Mhm.
even myself. You feel what I'm saying? Damn, hit this damn camera. I had never really took that shit through my own breakdown, and the God took me through it one time. My man Universal, man, the God in my tree, man. I was at the show and prove. And I broke that shit down to the God just like that. And he was like, yo, God, that shit sounds sweet and all. But that ain't that's really something outside of laws mathematics. And he was like, yo, God, show me where Ra at in 120. He was like, "Dang," right? He was like, yo, God, that's some chemist shit. That ain't
Mm.
us.
Yeah.
And to anybody that's on the outside, they'll think they'll be confused because you got a name of another culture. Well, really, you this.
Mhm. Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, God, that ain't really that's mixing some other shit.
Mhm.
It's like, damn. And I drew that shit up for like almost like a year, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just started drawing it up other places where I seen that individual that manifests the truth or that manifests the teachings, that's the minister. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So as well as I felt like, the really man for me, man, the I got qualified by the doctors, man. You know what I'm saying? The doctors, they clean me up, man. They examine me, man. I sat down with people. I done spent time with people like Born Everlasting, man. And the God told me to go teach. He the
Indeed.
doc, he the black seed, man. You know what I'm saying? You go through them, he gonna examine you. He gonna make sure you clean. Yo, peace, Lord Bernie, peace to the God. Yeah, the doctors gonna make sure you clean. They gonna take you through it. They gonna examine you, and they gonna qualify or disqualify you to be able to minister. You feel what I'm
Indeed.
saying? So, Dr. Barhu is another great individual that's like that. God, you know what I'm saying? The God is the doctor for real.
Mhm.
I came amongst in D Mecca, the God doctored me up. He took me through the shit that I had wrong. He gave me the remedy and made sure that I got it right and exact.
That's peace. That's
Word
peace.
is
Shout
bond.
out. Shout
You
out
feel
to
what
the
I'm saying?
God.
So, the doctor cleaned me up. You get cleaned up by the doctor. Now you time to go see the minister.
Mhm.
Cause the minister the one who gonna marry the mind. Gonna marry the people to the teachers.
That's peace.
So I thought, yo, that's me. I'm the one that come after that. You
Indeed.
get you get through the examination, you get cleaned up. You get through the examination, you get cleaned up. Now it's time to get married. Feel what I'm saying? So, um, as well as I really jumped in and I started speaking. I started speaking publicly. I started doing the motivational speaking. I started getting in certain was like certain circles and certain organizationals and community stuff like that. It was like I was in a couple meetings one time, and
Oh,
they
gee,
open.
hey, I mean, you, you get into my questions, man.
Go ahead, God.
Hey,
Yeah,
man, that's like 5 questions for now.
my fault.
No, it's all gravy. No, it's peace. In a natural conversation, this how that goes. But I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
something first. What's your
Go ahead.
favorite degree in 120?
Oh man, right now, man. I'm gonna say the understanding knowledge degree in 140, man. You know,
Mm,
because just simply that's the degree I'm dealing with right now. You know,
hmm
um, so for me, man, that's in order for me to make myself the God I want to be. What's the one thing I must first do? You know,
indeed. So
um,
I'm gonna read right quick, G. I'm gonna
go ahead,
read some comments. I've
go
been,
ahead. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
so some of them you already seen. Peace in the nation of gods and earths, and all the human families of planet Earth. Peace, Asukil Bandeli. Pardon self if I chopped up that. Peace. Welcome to the channel. Lord Bernie said, peace, my man, Minister Freedom, the hot seat. Like I allowed them private stock sessions. I know you've been in with a few with Born Everlasting.
I'm telling
He
you.
said, this Lord Justice in Tampa, Minister Freedom, and Born Everlasting, so much history with him. I can write 25,000 books.
I'm telling you, yeah, no, I know exactly who you is, God. Peace to the God. I know exactly who you is.
So Seven Power said, make sure you hit the like button and share. Indeed. A to
Hmm.
born. God, what must one first do, my man? Indeed. All right. So peace. Um. So right quick. You mentioned the 5 percenter earlier. The 5% connection. Pardon so.
True.
So
Hmm.
the 5%. So what was the determined idea for the 5% connection?
So I mean, for us, man, what it was that the group of us, we realized that as a nation and as a culture, that we had very little um, true and living and right and exact social media representation as a whole. You feel what I'm saying? Like what we realized is there's several God and Earth influencers, but there was no centralized representation of the nation as a whole, like of the culture, like a central hub where people could say, "Yo, I need to. I'm trying to connect with the culture. I'm trying to connect with the knowledge." Like, and what we was realizing is that you got a lot of perpetrators out here, man. You got these cats that's affiliated with the Nation of Islam. You got the so-called the Muslim God dudes. You got all these dudes, people that's impersonating a lost 5%, and they're the people because on the internet without representation, the people don't know who's who, so they don't know where to go.
Peace.
So our goal and determined idea was to have it to where we in the nation, the true and living in the nation, had a platform that was publicly available, visible, and can serve as a hub to help connect the people with the real, true, and living on the ground, man. To serve as like the name is a connection to where you can go from Google, you can go from Instagram, you can go from Facebook, and be able to get right clicked and linked in with the true and living in a city or area or state, And to date, man, we've been contacted with people from over 45 states.
Mhm.
Right now, up to about 25 countries outside the United States, countries in Africa, South America, China, Mexico, Europe, um, Australia, you name it, man. So it's definitely been a
Indeed.
successful thing and a powerful add on.
That's peace, G. So here's a website for people. This is what it looks like, the 5%connection.com. It's the website right here. And who all was the founders of this idea or this,
So
got a group
originally, man, it was a couple. It was like four or five of us, man.
indeed.
The person, my man, Born Sincere, man, from Virginia, he the one that actually coined the name 5% Connection.
Oh, that speaks, G.
Hmm.
It speaks.
Yeah, but it was like four of us, Kyle, four or five of us. Originally we was all working together to try to come up with have an event. We could bring younger gods and younger earths together. You know what I'm saying? However, in striving to organize that, we realized that it was other areas that may need a bigger focus in order to even make that happen. The lack of interconnectivity among a nation, the lack of there actually being able of us being able to create some intercommunication across interstate lines. You know what I mean, with other people of similar demographics among our own culture, and all of that kind of spun this whole science.
Indeed. So,
Word.
I remember early on in my history in the 5%, maybe within the first 1 or 2 years, we kind of got connected, and I think this might have been like 2016, 2017, when we first kind of like met through online, and we was building, and you was telling me about the 5% connection, and that was peace. I think it was like a group. What was it, like a group
Mm-hmm.
chat or?
Yeah, man, we done had a couple of different sets of series of group chats to just,
Mhm.
working to experiment with it, you know what I mean, to kind of figure out what works best. But yeah, definitely, bro. As well as, a big part of this was taking among the initiative to reach out to brothers and
Indeed.
to meet meet those players, to meet those leaders, even if it's the future leaders. You know what I'm saying? Even that was my thing. One of my biggest points was trying to connect the younger guys, to connect the younger generation, because our older brothers, they ain't gonna, they here now. However, we seeing one, we were at our history 25,000 years in advance. So who those next players? Who those next set of vanguard? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna be the ones to step up? And us having that layer of connection, so that we can get it done and hold it down, man.
Indeed, G. So, how did your community engagement motivational speaking start? What you was getting into earlier.
Oh yeah.
So how did that start, G?
So I started. It all kind of started off. One, as among the gods, we was always working with the youth.
Mhm.
We always found ourselves running up on youth. Building. First, it started off us just out in the street, with CDs, donations, and the CDs became to cut in to teach. So we just began to add on and build. And you with the guys, we studying and reading all these books. Yo, we bombing cats out. And then I began to start working in the community and doing a little community organizing. And then that, had the opportunity to work with a couple local grassroots organizations. And at one particular organization, man, they opened up the stage and asked for people from the crowd to add on. And I just realized, man, it was a room full of people who didn't have knowledge of self. And rocked it out, man. Just went in there and went and built hard. And boom, they called me back. Before you know it, joined the organization. Before you know it, I was the national representative. And from that, it went from me, doing a lot of the speaking and adding on and doing all type of stuff. Um, for them, and that began to kind of open up opportunities for motivational speaking events, speaking at schools, and then I began to want to start to seek more training, and adding on to that to strengthen my ability to then be able to make a greater impact,
That's peace.
and that's now spawned to take me to where I am. Um,
So we have a
you
question.
know,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Parcel.
no, you could go. I take it.
All right. So Lord Bernie said, I have a question for Minister Freedom. Does the 5% nation have a birth record?
No, I would say it doesn't.
I agree with that, G.
Yeah, I think it always has been and always will be.
So
Um,
so G, you know, what you were talking about. Hold on, let me. What you were talking about, your advocacy, I got a video right here from the Minister Freedom page, you see, and I was watching this and I was like, damn,
I got
bro.
some it's newer ones on there, man. You should go on my Instagram.
Yeah, hold on, hey, I like this. Like, look, we got, hey, we could do it all. We could do it all. But you
Yeah.
you want me to play this or you want me to go to your Instagram?
Oh, that one's cool. I just know that's a little bit of an older one, but I got some joints that's like a little more developed and a little meaner. But that one's cool though.
All right, let's
I
let's
try to
see.
always do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I know I got something that's a little short.
You said what, G?
I said I know my ones on Instagram a little shorter.
Oh, okay.
And knowledge means to look, listen, and observe.
It's a celebration of life. We here for Francesca Marks. And really, man, this a real piece because we looking to heal our
If
community,
you
man.
put that on
Our
Instagram,
community
man,
is sick.
that
We
sound
dealing
is just.
with a lot of mental health issues. Our people is dealing with so much
You said
trauma.
what about the Instagram?
I said no, the sound don't have to be
If
so
somebody
bad.
in
Yeah,
your
go to
family or somebody that
Instagram.
you know has been impacted by.
All right, indeed. Hold
Yeah, that sound is horrible, man.
on. Hey,
Ooh, that sound is horrible.
hey, we gotta come from somewhere. You feel me?
Oh yeah, man. Well, it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey, bro. I mean, it's been a lot of it. The hardest part is capturing it, man, because I done so much stuff. A lot of the stuff I do, I'm not doing it to be a motivational speaker. I'm doing it because I want to make an impact on the world. I want to make an impact on the youth. I want to make an impact on the community around me. And it's like what I had to understand is that okay, that these people that I want to make an impact on, that there's a lot of schools, there's a lot of organizations, a lot of companies that will help me fund that mission, that have budgets to pay people to come and make an impact on their students and on the people they support and on the people that they serve. So I mean, it only makes sense, man, to make it all work.
Mm.
Yeah, it only makes sense to make it all work. That's for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Seven Power said it was clear here. Um, I gotta.
So you
I
got
gotta.
one up.
No, I gotta sign in on my laptop and shit. Yeah.
You all good? Can I? Would I be able to share? Could I share my screen on here?
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh, look, watch this. I got you. Hold on. Give me 10 seconds.
Does it say present on your side?
Yep.
All right. So yeah, indeed, G. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it does, man. I got a good one I can drop for you real quick.
For sure. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's no problem.
And yeah, 2 minutes. That's not a long time, G. We play videos on
Oh,
here and everything. So yeah.
I got you. That's no problem. I got you.
Oh yeah, I can't really hear it. The wind.
You can't hear it.
No, it's like windy.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this real quick.
Oh, damn. Hold on. Just put that back up.
You said put that one back. I got you. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, just present it. I accidentally took it off.
oh, all right.
Oh yeah. So Seven Power said, I've seen a lot of your works. Plus, I follow the 5% Connection podcast. Indeed. Hey man. You know,
Word.
shout
Peace.
out.
Thank you.
I speak for the five facility do.
Indeed. All right. Can't hear the audio. No, I can barely hear you now. Yeah, I can't hear none, G. Is that can y'all hear it?
Said they couldn't. Well, I could do it another way. Watch this. I'm gonna try to do it this way then. Hold on. There's more than one way. It's more than one way to skin a cat. Luckily, I'm on my own computer. Uh,
Because if I did it on my phone, we would just hear the audio and not see
nah,
the
you
video.
good. You good, guy. I got you. I
So
got you for sure.
self-born law said, could we have elaboration on why the 5% nation has no set birth record? And are we using or to understand the Nation of Islam and the 5% nation are one in the same? Indeed. Got you. So he was just saying, can we have a elaboration on why the 5% nation has no set birth record?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, man, I'm. I mean, for me, man, you know, the whole thing I'm dealing with is that when I understand that we talking about the 5% nation, and when we talking about, eh, well, I know where the God's going.
I was
Yeah,
about to say,
no,
man.
I know where the God. Yeah, that's what I know where He going, and I can see that too. I mean, the reason why I said what I said was that I know that mathematics don't have a set birth record, and I
Mm,
know that what Allah gave us in supreme mathematics, that the science of supreme mathematics and the science that what is the 5%, I think, is the continuation of the supreme understanding that has always served the role of what the 5% means, what the 5% stands for, what the 5% represents.
indeed.
In a sense, being those individuals that's teaching freedom, justice, and equality, and those individuals that's teaching righteousness to bring about, a supreme change. Um, However, I mean, I definitely can understand um, where the God going in terms of saying that the birth record. What he said, the birth record is when I born you, supreme mathematics. Just meaning, so like for me, that'd be that's the birth record when each individual got their supreme mathematics.
Indeed.
So it's like really for me, that means that every time a new person come into the knowledge of self, that the mind is going from being dead to being alive.
Mm,
Right? So you got this constant process of rebirth, right? Because you can't kill God. Allah lives.
mm-hmm.
Every time we teach somebody the knowledge of self, we show them prove that Allah lives. That the same science and the same teaching that Allah taught and that Allah gave to give to the babies to wake them up from a mental death and to a stage of supreme consciousness, that their process continues. Um, so like the God said, going from 1 to 9. So every time this happened, the what we have continues. What we have
Mm,
continues to manifest. So from
indeed.
that, based off of that, it has no beginning or ending. It has no beginning or ending. So that's how I would say that.
Space. And for me, kind of the same. Supreme mathematics is the foundation of the universe. You see what I'm saying? And there's certain principles like, okay, someone founded a science or discovered something. That doesn't mean that's when it was created. You see what I'm saying? This like the gravity existed before it was founded. You see what I'm saying? As a study. You know what I'm saying? So supreme mathematics always existed. You
Mm-hmm.
know, in the form that Allah gave us. That's unique. See what I'm saying? So indeed, so that's peace. Um, did you got the video?
Oh shit. Yeah, yeah. I put it I thought I had put it in the thing. Let me see how do
Oh,
I
which
do?
one?
Do you see it?
Oh,
Suggest
this one.
that our communities, that everyone that's here, everyone in the sound of my voice, that we need to come together and we need to
This
be
one.
like ants.
Yep.
We need to take on the
Okay.
mindset of ants. Everybody out here ever seen ants? What does the ant do? You ever tried to put something in front of an ant or stop it or make it to where it couldn't go nowhere? No matter what you do, you can't stop that ant. It's gonna go around. It's gonna find another way. You ever destroy the ant hill and you come back the next day and the hill is back? So if we take the mindset, there's nothing no one can do to stop us. The next thing is with the ants. Ants, if you know anything about them, they prepare in the summer for the winter. Right? In the wintertime, while they underground, they preparing for the summer. So many of us are not preparing for the tough times, preparing for when times get rough. But to do that, we have to stay together, we have to come together, and we have to be one. Only when we'll become one hill and one family can we overcome all the obstacles that we face.
That's
Yeah,
big, G.
the new
That's
boys.
big.
Sound.
This is cool.
Yeah, man. I'll be striving to add on, man.
Got another one, G?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna give you one more. One more real quick. Uh,
Yeah, I was feeling that. You got that like you got the basically you like ET, right? Eric Thomas with knowledge. You see?
yeah, that's my
You
man too. That's
Yeah,
one of
you
my.
look
I
okay.
look up to that good brother.
Here's my solution. That we can cure violence. We could put the guns down. If
This
all
was the
y'all
video I
make the
was gonna
decision
show
in your
too.
mind that you want to be successful. Yeah. Do you want to be wealthy? Do you want to accomplish your achievements? Or do you just want to be stuck in the hood like the rest of these brothers? Make your choice. I don't see nothing but the eyes of winners and people in here that's up to the challenge. Raise your hand if you up to the challenge.
Come on now.
Come on, man. Is you up to the challenge to truly have an achievement? Truly having wealth? Fellas, you don't have time to do violence. You don't have time to hang around in the street. If you're gonna truly put in 6 to 8 hours a day in work and practice towards your goal, that don't even include studying.
Indeed, G. That's big.
Peace. Yeah, God, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. I'm looking to make a difference, man. Make a real impact on these young boys.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Yeah, so that kind of goes into my next question, G. What are some of the unique challenges you think the generation of five percenters will face teaching?
Man,
Because we're contemporary.
I think, man, one of the things that we're gonna face, man, dealing with a lot of the new generation of young people, man, is the desensitization from reality.
Mm,
And I see it a lot working in these schools, man. Is that you got a lot of kids who glorify reality that's impossible to obtain. That you got a lot of kids that's thinking that the routes of success that is really in reality low percentage, like being a multi-million dollar content creator,
mm,
like being well, not so much for the content creator, but like being a basketball player or being a football player. And I think that a lot of times you got this science with this new level of pipe dreams. And I think that the downside it's got advantages and it's got downsides. The downsides is when it comes to school and when it comes to an individual success, when it comes to studying, you got a generation of people who think that they really don't have to know because you see so many people reaching success with high levels of ignorance, right?
mm,
You got a generation that is not coming up in the library. You got a lot of schools getting rid of their libraries for computer labs,
Mm,
right? So now you got what? You got a generation that can't read but can use a search bar.
mm, got you, G.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm,
in a lot of ways, man, it's a different dynamic. It's a different dynamic. You gotta. Whereas in some of the era that we came up, a lot of the things that we had to go through as men and as women, we were able to encounter these challenges socially, interacting in our communities and interacting in physical environments.
mhm,
Um, whereas these things is kind of losing strength, and you got young people moving more and more to social environments,
mm,
from playgrounds to chat rooms, virtual playgrounds, right? So you got a student and youth body who's really more emotionally sensitive and detached from society. So then they come to school and it's like, man, they taking everything personal. So I mean, it's definitely a different dynamic, man, for
definitely.
the up and coming 5%er.
You know, you see, you're one of the. I don't want to even call you a young god because we in our 30s. You see,
Word.
but, you know, young god is like teenager, early 20s, stuff like that. You see, so but how do you see your influence as how do you see your influence in the Mecca and in the nation?
I mean, right now, man. I mean, I'm striving to be um in somewhat of a leadership role in Deep Mecca. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? Not saying that I'm the man, but I'm striving to be one of those guys that's taking the initiative, that's planning to do things, that's helping to host the rallies, that's helping to host the classes, and be able to kind of still sit and be among the guys that's older than me and take direction and carry direction out.
mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And more so learn and listen, and help to do just as great works or great works in my own right. In the nation, man, I'm just looking to be an example. I'm just looking to be a servant, man. I'm just looking to be one of those that God, man, that's here to leave my mark, to write my name in that book of greats. You know what I'm saying? The book of individuals among the nation who did great things. Man, I want to be mentioned and talked about just like they talk about Dumar, and just like how individuals talk about, Firstborn Prince and Saheem and certain other great individuals, even those guys that's around right now. I want to be one of those individuals who doing a
indeed,
great work. You know what I'm
indeed,
saying? Um, and for each individual, it's up to each one of us to write our own history. You know what I'm saying? I ain't about to be no mystery god, that's for sure. I ain't about to be a individual that is only mentioned and only talked about when you talk about certain things or certain situations. No, I want to be one of those guys that left a mark and left a stain on the brain, man. So that's really what I'm striving to add on to the nation, God. Word.
that's peace, Lord. I remember in one of Dark Kim's class, right? There was the bill. Can't remember the topic. Someone asked him, "Who do you think is some of the upcoming influential gods?" They said young God. Um, that you know the nation should kind of get behind, not necessarily follow, but kind of get behind who's the next crop. And of course, your name was mentioned. He said your name. He said my name, and I think he said Raz or something like that. It was. Anyways. but it looks like people already view you like that, G. Like, that you up and coming, you're next in line. You see what I'm saying? You're doing your thing. Influential, very influential. And yeah, peace to the God. Peace to the God.
Yeah, man. I'm just following in great footsteps, man. Honestly, man. I'm just looking to make you know what I mean, make my brothers and teachers, man, proud, man. They only want for me to be great, man, to secure some and use my mathematics to secure some benefit here while it is that I'm living. That is money, good homes, friendships in all walks of life, love, peace, and happiness. This is the greatest desire of your brother.
That's
Well,
peace. That's peace, man.
that's God. This is what I want for my students.
Hmm.
I want for people that I'm taught to use your mathematics, bro, and go secure some greatness for yourself.
Speaking of one of your students, my little bro, Lord Divine.
Oh,
You
that's my
see,
man.
yeah, we spent some time out in Mecca. So
Oh,
peace to God, peace to the God,
yeah, Lord Divine, a great God.
indeed. So
God.
you would. Oh, let me do some chats. So I see God. Welcome back. I see God. Peace. Seven Power said the gods look young. Yeah,
Uh, thank you, God.
yeah. I hope you
Yeah,
included me in
man.
that.
You stay around the young, you'll stay young, man.
Indeed,
I'll try to stay around young people, man. I'm over
indeed.
here, my little young brother. We over here was just playing video games, Elden Ring and whatnot.
Hey, yeah, I see you got the what's uh, forgot the name.
What?
The shirt, G. I forgot
One
the
Piece.
anime.
One Piece.
Yeah,
Oh,
One Piece. I was thinking about looping. The
man. Yeah. Oh, Monkey D. Luffy. That's right.
Yeah,
King.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about the character.
Yeah, King of the Pirates, man. Well, you gotta know, man. One Piece really from our time, man. One Piece came out like '94, man, '95.
Yeah, hey, highest selling anime of all time.
All times, and it's the best. It's the best anime. It's the best story I've ever read in my life. One of the
Mm,
best. It's one of the best fiction stories I've ever read in my life. And when One Piece came out in '97, I'm sorry, pardon so, but it's definitely the best fiction story. One of the best fiction stories I've ever read. So
you read all of them?
I've read every episode of One Piece. I've watched every episode. I read the
Dang.
new episodes on Friday when they come out in Japan.
Ew.
Yeah, I done seen the movies,
That's
all that.
that's a lot, G. That's a lot of hours right there.
It ain't when you stretch it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they got what, like 500 to 1,000 episodes?
Well, the anime is currently on episode um 1048.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I was thinking
The
more close to
manga
1,000.
the manga is at 1000, chapter 1069. You know what I mean? So
Mhm,
it's pretty fly though, bro. It's a great and epic, beautiful story.
mhm.
Um, about what friends can accomplish, man, when they come together for one common cause and one common goal, and then how one person's uh, heart and will that one how one person with an incomparable will and heart can not only change the world but bring people closer to you who wanna accomplish their dream, and
Indeed,
in turn, their dreams will help that one accomplish his dream. And
indeed. So
yeah,
I
my
think
man.
he was kind of the blueprint. Oh, go ahead, G. What were you saying?
No, go ahead. What you gonna say, God? Go
Oh,
ahead.
I was going to say he was kind of the blueprint for like Naruto and all them because they kind of got that that will.
Oh well, it kind of all start with like Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball kind of helped lay the foundation for a lot of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Then you see,
yeah. I
it
don't. Goku had kind of that. It. Yeah, yeah. But his attitude was a little different.
yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
he was
absolutely.
just obsessed with training and trying to be better and all that. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So. That's peace. Yeah, I'm pretty big on anime too, G.
Yeah, One Piece the dopest.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
So, uh, huh? Did you say something? You say something, G?
No, I ain't said that the guy. You good?
Okay. So, the guy, right quick, Minister Freedom, you as well as Wise Prince are already leaving an imprint. What you both do is important and impactful. Peace. Appreciate it.
Peace, God.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, God. Peace. Thank man.
Rishi in the building. Peace. I see the God is a One Piece fan.
Yeah, peace. Yes, I am.
So,
Absolutely.
what was the determined idea behind the God and Earth podcast?
Oh man. I mean, the determined idea was to create a podcast space to where people could actually get a live perspective from the gods and from the
Mhm.
earths. We bringing everything back to. We just doing some rebranding, man. We really been doing some restructuring, some planning, some organizing. We've been doing some redesigning down here in the studio, man. Some of it you can't see right now. We've really been moving stuff around to
Mhm.
kind of give a different, a better product. You know what I mean? We took in a
Mhm.
lot of critique, a lot of reviews, and so we about to launch something brand new on that pretty soon. Yeah. I'm a super One Piece fan. Super One Piece fan. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm with the Straw Hat Gang all the way. Mm. There's something
Peace.
about Japanese literature, man. It's very
Yeah,
motivating.
their story is completely different.
Hmm.
When people say it's cartoons, I'd be like, nah, it's not the same.
Yeah,
um,
it's it's very dope. That's for sure.
yeah, that's kind of how I felt with Naruto. I was like addicted to Naruto.
Oh man, well, what you got to do is you got to get into the OG stuff. Yo, Ninja Scroll. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
Yeah,
Wicked City. Yo, Fist of the North Star. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me
well, yeah,
wrong. I love.
yeah. Well, I didn't watch those, but I got into
Oh,
damn, I'm drawing a blank.
you
What
want to
was
go
that?
watch? You want to get into that Gundam? Yo, Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah, I
Samurai
watched Cowboy
Blue.
Bebop.
All that Toonami stuff was good money, bro. But like them good old anime, like I said, Ninja
Oh yeah.
Scroll,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Fist of the North Star, um, man, Wicked City. It's a bunch of old gangster OG, wild anime. It's real live, man.
um, damn, I'm like
I,
all the titles is escaping me, but the um the brothers. What was one was a machine. His
oh,
soul was
Full Metal Alchemist.
yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. That
Yeah,
you
Full
know,
Metal
I
Alchemist.
watched a lot of that coming home. Um, from elementary. DBZ was on. The Frieza saga was like forever. It took a hella long time to finish. But yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah, I was the next question was, are y'all still doing the podcast? You already answered that. um so what are some of your future projects you got going on, G? Like what's some of
Oh,
the future stuff that we
uh,
should be paying attention to?
so one of the big things that I got that I'm working on, man, is I'm about to be launching a course for at-risk youth in schools, and it's going to be something that's going to be available for parents and for parents, teachers, and administrators to work to help that young man through behavior issues, help coaching them through issues in school, and how they can be more productive and find ways to channel their anger and be successful. So it's something that I'm working on. But it's definitely something I'm looking to get done, as well as like I said, the new and up and coming podcast that we about to be dropping pretty soon. We just we just doing, like I said, doing some rebranding and doing some work to take it to another level.
Does it have the same name?
As of right now, we're dealing with the same name. Yeah,
Indeed.
we considering some name stuff. But as of right now, man, ain't nothing. We haven't put everything in stone yet.
All right, that's peace. So, how does one get involved in community engagement or become the community activist?
What I would suggest, man, and I say this with complete honesty, before you go getting involved in community organizing, go volunteer at an elementary school. Go find a at-risk elementary school where predominantly in an all-black neighborhood in the inner city, where the children are performing at grade levels below their age level. Go volunteer. Go volunteer. Go sit in some classrooms. Go stand in some lunchrooms, and then once you get a grip on that, and if you can handle that and get through that, then go to community organizing. Because in my opinion, that's where the impact is. If you can, we can make a difference in the schools, in the elementary schools, then we can stop the issues before they even hit the streets.
Mm.
So,
So,
because what I see a lot of times in community work is like the reactionary shit.
mm, indeed. I see
For
that.
example, like George Floyd got
Mhm.
killed. When Trayvon Martin got killed, shit like that happened. Everybody, they mom want to be an activist.
Mm.
They just beating your door down, blowing your inbox up. Man, how can I get involved? Brother, with the next march, I want to come out. I want to, all power to the people. They want to put the fists up and put their dashiki on, and we want to make a difference, and no justice, no peace, and da 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 da. Da. And then a month later, you don't hear from them no more because the sensation over. The cop then got caught a case, and it's over now.
Indeed. Do you
So
think?
go ahead.
Do you think with the volunteering at elementary, um, things is a little different? Because I know at my children's elementary, to volunteer to even be in the building, you got to be vaccinated. So is that something that you advocate?
It just depends on where you at. Because I can tell you right now, I know the schools that I'm at, the schools that I'm talking about, your children may not be at risk inner city school. Okay. They may or may not be. From my experience in the inner city, especially here in D Mecca,
Hmm.
okay, when you talk about you got parents or people that want to volunteer, the last thing they think about is you vaccinated. I mean, just here in D Mecca, I live in like a little blue state, so folks kind of over the whole vaccination thing. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I mean, I don't even want to say blue, but it's kind of like a little. It's kind of liberal. It's kind of in the middle, and I think that's what liberal is. It's kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
no, I don't think that's the right terminology, but it's
Seattle,
kind of,
yes, Seattle's super liberal.
yeah.
It's,
So yeah,
yeah,
that's what I. This it's a little more conservative, but it's
okay,
blue, a little more
yeah,
conservative.
yeah, yeah.
People ain't really
That's,
tripping about the whole vaccine thing right now.
yeah,
So I mean, I only say that to say because you can get a real understanding of how to make an impact. Or if you can't do that, your local recreation centers, man, the boxing gym, football coaching, basketball coaching, something to where you can actually work with the youth who are having the real problems and the real issues. If you do that, that's one of the fastest beelines to making an impact in the community. You make an impact on the children, you make the families better. You make the families better, you make the communities better. Crime started at home.
mm, mm,
Dude, man. I work in an elementary middle school, man, and I can see the kids that's
mm,
that's on that pipeline. And then you can go look at the parents.
I speak for the five facility, do.
indeed,
For real.
indeed. That's peace, Lord. So you were saying earlier that you play sports. What sports you play?
Did I used to or no?
You used to.
Oh man, football, wrestling, basketball.
And what sports you play now?
I don't play sports now. I just work out.
Okay, okay. Do you have you ever coached anything?
I'm
Any
about to
sport?
start coaching. I'm about to start coaching middle school basketball.
Oh, dope, dope, dope.
I'm
So
thinking about. I'm
what was
getting.
some of the did you already go to the through the steps?
I'm working on it right now. I'm thinking about getting into reffing. And if I'm coaching, I'm gonna be coaching through my school through the school that I'm working at.
Mm, that's peace. Already got that relationship, so that's peace.
Oh
Oh, Rishi said they are already trying to bring the mask back. Yeah,
man, you ain't lying. It
indeed.
just depends on where you at, man. That's the part.
Yeah, it looks like we all need to move to D Mecca. You see, 'cause-
Come on, let's do it. I'm with it. Come on up.
yeah, man. Because how y'all winters be looking?
The winters ain't the best. It's they all right. I'm sure they better than Seattle's winter.
Oh yeah, huh? Oh,
Y'all,
y'all
Seattle's winter
y'all
though,
don't
huh?
get a whole bunch of snow?
We get a nice little bit of snow, not a whole bunch of snow. Like the most snow you'll see up here in D Mecca is probably about 6, 7 inches, 5, 6, 7 inches, and that's like, oh my god. But I mean, it ain't stopping nothing though. It ain't
What?
stopping. But that's a lot.
Hold
But I heard it get pretty.
on.
I heard it get pretty ill in Seattle.
Nah, nah, nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 5, 6 inches. That'll pretty much shut down the city
Hmm,
for
nice.
Eric, because a whole bunch of people working at home anyway. Because it's a huge tech city, all that stuff. We're not used to getting snow. Actually, it snowed a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember it ever snowing this early. Normally, it snows in like March and stuff, February, March. So that's usually when it snows. So, gee, the, y'all in the Midwest, right?
Yes.
I look, maybe I'm tripping, but I thought D Mecca gets a whole bunch of snow, like like Green Bay and all them.
Hell no.
What?
Mm-mm.
So
We ain't that high.
yeah. So hold on. So why is it so different? Like, cause y'all how far is Green Bay from you guys?
Probably about 8 or 9 hours.
Mm,
It's just up high. It's just up off further to the north. Green
okay.
Bay is like far north.
Yeah.
That's just like if you go up into the upper peninsula of Michigan, it gets very cold.
Hmm.
They get a lot more snow.
Hmm.
Yeah, up there, like in different parts of Michigan.
Yeah, yeah. Because I know Seattle, we're up here in the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, it doesn't get that bad because the Pacific Ocean. You know what? We get more rain than anything. You see what I'm saying? And not as much rain as people think, right? So, hold on. Peace, peace, Inf. How you living, G?
Uh,
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace to the God. Say, my man.
You going to the show and prove next year?
I'm pretty sure we're gonna make it up there.
What
I'm
year was
pretty.
your first show and prove?
2012.
How was that experience, G?
2012. Yeah, 2012. Man, that
Oh,
shit
as
was
soon as you got the knowledge?
no. See, well, that's what I was saying. I think that might have been like 2010 when I first got introduced. We started school. I would say we pretty much. I pretty much. That was 120 in 2012. I got
Okay.
introduced like 2010. It was like that year after we started college, so it was like 2010.
Okay.
So I mean, I pretty much had 120 knowledge in 2012. And that
Mm-hmm.
year I was 120, we went to show and prove. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was in 2012. That shit was powerful, God. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? The
Exactly.
guys pretty much dropped. The guys pretty much dropped me off at Born Everlasting House, man.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We came in from D Mecca, and, we pretty much stop in to Jersey. And they dropped me off there because what it is, Bahu was resting somewhere else. He was
Mm-hmm.
resting with a god in for a Rockaway. And then
Mm.
another guy who was riding, he was trying to go to where it was a sister that he was building with in Jersey. He was trying to go where she was at.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody kind of had their little predetermined resting places and shit. And so, the guys kind of put me with Everlasting. I was like, bet. Thank you, baby. Peace, Earth. You okay? I'm sharing building with the God Wise Prince. So the guys pretty much dropped me off at Born Everlasting House. And it was on. And man, that first night, that was like Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, it was a smash out, drag out.
Mm-hmm.
It was up till 4 in the morning, man. The guys and them was in there drinking Svedka, boy. And I had my equality. I wouldn't drink with the guys. I can't really drink that what they was drinking, boy.
Yeah.
And when I say God, I ain't never heard nobody build on the law of supreme mathematics and these lessons like that. And I stayed up as long as I could. And the God say, God, go and get you some rest, God. I'll drown you with everlasting knowledge and wisdom. Boy, you better go just let the knowledge rock you to go and rock you the rest, God. You gotta make yourself comfortable over there, baby. You good. Yo, the guy got up, sent us downstairs to get some food. We hopped up, we was back at it. That Saturday we went up to the show and prove, man, and it
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful, man. Yeah, God. I was across the street most of the time, you know what I'm saying? And went in for the show and prove. I mean, I'd never seen so
St.
many guys.
Nicholas.
Huh?
St. Nicholas Project.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real building go down. Yeah, yeah. The unedited.
Friends, God. I mean, I don't know. I don't
Well,
really agree.
in my experience.
Well, I mean, I would just say, God, that it was real building going on all over the show and prove. Because the
True.
only reason I don't
True.
agree with
True.
you saying that, like, the science fair ain't real building.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Where the
Mm-hmm.
baby that's the shit because see, this what the God had to explain to me. And it was Bahu might have dropped it on me like, yeah, God, you stayed outside with the guys all day, but you missed the babies in the auditorium for the science fair. And I was like, damn, I thought the
Mm.
babies was the greatest. And I was like,
Mm.
damn, God, oh, you right, part of self. And
Okay.
then my
Okay.
second show proof, I went in there and did analysis, and that shit was dope. This you
Mm-hmm.
see in God's and Earth's babies with their science projects and doing certain things. God, that shit was powerful.
Okay.
Oh,
So
God,
my
powerful.
the reason why I was saying that is my experience was a little different because my first show and prove was last year in
Oh,
2021.
that's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
So I was going to get into how you see the difference between because 2012 there was a lot of brothers that were still alive that you know uh, that you named earlier. Did you get to meet Dumar YD?
I met him one time, God. I met him the day before he returned to was no longer in the physical, God.
Hmm. Indeed. So
I
yeah.
met him.
So the reason why I was like the real building is that.
I didn't really meet him. I didn't really walk with him, God.
Mhm.
I happened to be right there. He was bombing my mans. He kind of was getting on one of the guards, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my yellow seed got in it and asked a dumbass question, and he got lit up. And it was just I was just doing the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
we walking with the God a little bit, and he gave me and my man's a bunch of national statements.
Mm.
You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But I
Indeed.
mean, I'm gonna say this, God. I don't think because even this year's show and proof was really dope. because it was a somewhat of a science fair there as well. It had just children doing presentations and dance, and it was several other presentations at the showing pool this year, as well as you had the babies that was working out, the babies that was kind of going through that physical thing. So, I mean, to me, that's the same aspect of what the science fair is, because
Indeed.
these
Indeed. I see
children
that.
of the nation, children that is of the culture, add on in their own way. So for
True.
me, God, it was building and happening all over the place. Cause
I
I
can see
met,
that.
just like I met a bunch of powerful guys and had great bills in the projects. I
Mhm.
also had great bills in the hallways
Mhm.
of the school.
Yeah, me too.
And I
Mhm.
also had great experiences with the vendors, people that wasn't outside, like Infidel Jamal, like
Mhm.
Almighty God Dawu. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like God, you able to kind of see the thing, because certain gods, and that's what I realized too. Certain guys that was running shit that was helping to run and facilitate things who wasn't outside.
Yeah.
People like
True
Born
indeed.
Justice,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? People like Umallah, people like Allah B, they kind of all over the place. They wasn't out in the projects.
Mhm.
Then you had the guys who was around that didn't smoke and drink. Guys like I Freedom Born.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys like ABG, they ain't really doing that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think both experiences have merit and have. Now, don't get me wrong. I got some of the bills in the projects. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you said, your point of everlasting, just different gods. You know what I'm saying? You know, our builds and and I can go on and on. All kind of people, man. King Victory, man. All kind of people I met out there, just in those different spaces and just adding on in different ways, man. So, um, yeah, God.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that because when I went these last 2 years, I stayed at I would get up. I got my Airbnb like a block away, or
Word. That's
first year was like 7 blocks away, and then this year it was like 3 blocks away, right?
Yeah, we was pretty
So
close
I would
too.
go, huh?
I said we was pretty close this year too.
Indeed. So I would just go to school. It'll be like 10 o'clock in the morning, you know, and then I'll be out to like four a.m. at night. You see what I'm saying? So
Word.
we travel, walk the land, be at the school, um, just be in front of the school. So it was a lot of yeah, it was a lot of building, uh, adding on, like this year. So for me, and then I'm gonna ask the question I was gonna ask. For me, this year was I saw the difference from last year and this year because this year I was less of a tourist,
Hmm.
right? And I put myself in the middle of stuff, adding on where I could. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, so where did the gods on earth need help at? You see what I'm saying? Where can I be of use and dealing equality? You see, and then just doing that, it opened up some potentials of builds. You get what I'm saying? Or maybe not even builds, just like this year I was on the grill, right?
Look
For
at
two
it.
days. So the Friday and the Sunday. Oh no. Yeah, the Friday and the Sunday I was on the grill. So just adding on where I could and just dealing in equality. And I saw the change within, just me doing more and adding on with the nation. I just saw the change in um, how um, how do I explain it? just brothers, the brotherhood, I guess. In a so just the brotherhood. You get what I'm saying? So you said the first year was 2012. Did you go like consecutively after that?
Yeah, I went a couple more years after that. I went like in 13. I went in 14. Then it was a couple years break, and then I went again in like 17 or 18 or something. And then I done been to other events like rallies in
Hmm.
Medina, family
Yeah,
days in different places and stuff.
yeah, space. You know, with me being so far away, it took like almost 7 years to get out there.
Word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, and just experiencing it because you went before COVID and I went after COVID.
Hell
You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? And COVID changed the world.
Man,
Uh,
hold on.
Lord Bernie said, Minister Freedom, did you ever get a chance to break bread with Jakeem Mathematics or Shasha Jamel or
I met
Gamel
I met
before they got
Shash
there?
I met Shasha the year he returned.
Mm,
Like I met him at, if not that year before he returned at the show and prove. I only met him briefly. But no, I didn't get a chance to meet Jaki or Shasha or Gamel. But like I said, I met Shasha that one time, but I didn't get a chance to meet Jaki or Gamel.
yeah, I definitely didn't get a chance to meet them because I think when I got the knowledge, I remember early on that uh, Jaki returned. So
Yeah, I remember
I don't know if
Ali.
he returned in 2014 or 2013 or 15, but it was early on in my development as a 5%er.
Hmm.
Indeed. So so my question was seeing the show improve and just traveling to now why. What do you how do you see the difference of before COVID and then after COVID?
Mm, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just I don't. COVID for me ain't going didn't really stop or slow down the knowledge itself. I
Hmm.
think it's changed the way that we engage one another.
Hmm.
People view and perceive um, engagement with other people, man. You know what I mean? So I think it just kind of course, made things a little harder for people to get around. And I
Hmm.
think it, as well as it made people a little more hesitant about coming around and being in those social spaces and circles. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I do definitely miss that whole space and that whole energy with like Harriet Tubman and stuff like that. I think that was big, but I mean, who knows? I think bigger stuff is on the way.
True indeed. True indeed. um, so as a 5%er who knowledge 120, right? How important do you think um it is for like the newer 5%ers or even just 5%ers in general to know the lessons?
Oh man, ain't no being the 5%er without without knowing 120.
Mm,
Lessons are the blessings to keep you from guessing and stressing. If you ain't got the lessons and you ain't got them internalized, man, you don't really have access to all the tools and things that you need to civilize the mentally dead. Like we here to civilize the mentally dead and awaken the dumb, deaf, and blind. The lessons are the keys and the tools to do so. If you don't have that, you got a tough job, man. You
indeed.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so pardon self putting that comment up. I didn't read it. Just remember okay computer and then yeah, that's
Yeah, you gotta know the lessons, man.
so rites of passage, indeed, indeed.
Definitely, definitely, definitely the rite of passage.
Okay. So you give all your students. Um, so do you? Did you go through a 3-day fast,
Yes.
and you have all your students go through it too, right?
Yes.
Indeed, that's peace.
Hmm.
Anybody got any questions for Minister Freedom?
Hmm. Yeah, I got to get ready to break out too soon, Lord.
Yeah, we gonna wind this down. Indeed,
Oh,
I'm already know. Appreciate you, G.
that's all good. That's all good, my Lord. I don't mind. I'm always here to add on.
Indeed,
That's what I'm here for, man. That's what we here for. Ain't no point in having these spaces and having these platforms, man, if you ain't gonna add on and build to them, man.
that's peace. G. That's peace.
Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely. Oh, you go ahead and I think somebody I seen a comment. I don't know if that was it.
I always heard brothers speak on the science of the clock. Did you ever receive any of it?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with some of the science of the clock. Um, I mean, just one jewel that I was taught was that the the whole science was that the three hands, uh, that the three hands on the clock had a science that the 85% represented the hour hand because they moved the slowest. And that the 10% represented the minute hand because they had a long reach and they the hand that moved at 85%. And at the 10% then at the 5% part itself is the second hand because we in constant motion.
Mm,
Um, and we constantly in the push for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I mean anybody that know the science of the clock and know how to tell time with the clock. Know before equality we going through it. And after equality we going to it.
mm,
I mean we going to after equality and before equality we going through. So if you know that whatever you're dealing with, you know, uh, in six or before six is the signs that you going through something. And that after six, that after God, that we got to rise above and that we got to come up out of it. So, that's some of the science of the clock that I would deal with.
indeed. So Lord Bernie said, "Do you see the understanding degree in the potato lesson in the question talking about WD for art?"
Mm, right. Yeah, peace, God, because everything changed in God. Um, the God say the the potato lesson.
I think he talked about the 1 to 14.
That's what I was thinking too.
'Cause
Um,
he asked this question before.
yeah, I see it talking about W.D. Farrar in terms of Columbus. Mm,
I seen Saladin do a breakdown on that, talking about it was talk about WD for art,
that it was taught by him.
talking about him. A half original man like Columbus discovering the four part of planet or America.
I mean, I just don't think that he was the one that discovered the poor part and the he. In my opinion, I think that more so what I deal with in terms of him was the science of India. That's
Mm.
one of those degrees I deal with that yeah, okay, peace God. The half original man like Columbus. I can see that.
God has a dope build on Mount Everest. Who you talk about? Inf? You
Hmm.
talk about Minister Freedom? going
Yeah,
through and going to why, because everything changed at God.
God. Yeah, we talking about the clock.
I know Tamar always talked about being drawn above 6. How you see that?
I mean, shit, to get drawn above 6, man, that's to take things into the mind. That's to take things into the heavens. The only thing that can get above 6 is pure oxygen. It's oxygen or, um, the things that are able to rise into the different layers of the atmosphere. Because we know that water can't get above 6 miles. It comes back to the earth. So when you draw things above 6, you taking them to 7, you taking them into the mind. You're taking them into the very essence of the universe. So that's how I would see being drawn above 6, taking it to 7.
That's peace. You talk about do more. Indeed. All right, that's peace. So we don't got any more questions for the God. We give you guys about a minute. Then we're gonna let Minister Freedom gonna hop off. He got other things he got to do. You know, we appreciate the God for
Yeah, man, I gotta go put these make the baby wind guys ready.
indeed.
Yeah, the earth is show over here. Like, man, come on up here, help me make these little knuckleheads lay down. I got five, got me five, got 5 sons, man, and these boys.
Oh yeah. Okay, you got to starting
Oh,
five on the basketball.
oh yeah, man, one daughter.
That's big. Yeah, I got 4 seeds.
All together, man, I had 7. I lost a son, man, the sickle cell a couple years
Oh
ago.
man, damn. Condolences,
Mm,
G.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man.
Mighty Rich. Peace, peace. Welcome to the channel. Can y'all break down the meaning of the seeds, like the brown seed, black seed, yellow seed?
So I mean, I was always taught that each brother's supposed to go out and get them a black, a brown, and a yellow seed because the law taught to unite the seeds.
Hmm.
So when I'm talking about most people when they talking about seeds, they talking about complexion, or skin complexion. You know what I mean? Like of course the black seed be more of the darker brothers, darker complexion, or one of the darker shades of black. Then of course the brown, which come after the black, after the brown, it come the yellow, and after the yellow come the white. You know what I mean? So just in particular, we focusing on the black, brown, and the yellow. The science is that if you bring all of those brothers together, then we can all be one. Then it ain't no difference. It's all unity. Ain't no one better than one or the other, but the one become each other, and we all become one. And that the science was, um, that those individuals, that one individual could be your brother, and to have a degree, one degree that you don't have, and one individual have what you don't have, and another individual have what you don't. So I mean, and then you even got some individuals that say, it's just the black and the brown. Because I mean, the way that I always deal with it, because I seen what the guy was just saying, the yellow for me has come from the brown. Everything else come out of the brown. The brown come out the black, and the rest of it come out of the brown. Um, so it's just about unity, man. The other piece of it is you'll hear individuals say things like a knowledge seed or a wisdom seed or understanding seed. So I mean, for me, that's just an individual. The knowledge seed is the individual with the knowledge. The wisdom seed is the individual that that's at the ability to manifest it. And the understanding seed is the individual that can take that wisdom and can take the knowledge that's being held and help bring forth an understanding. As well as, man, I think the other part of it was like it always creating a level of unity and to emphasize a level of unity. And I like what Seven Power said, man, having each other's back. So yeah, I can see that 100%.
Indeed, indeed. So peace. And I see it, dealing with knowledge at a cipher, right? Is that each person, like the black, brown, and yellow, each person has a different perspective
Hmm.
going through life. You see what I'm saying? And the black seed may not know the perspective of the brown and the yellow because each one is dealing with the white seed a different, in the devil civilization differently. You see what I'm saying? The black seed is the seed that, in our lessons is talk about that's the first one being destroyed. You see, that's the first one being targeted. So there's a different perspective that the black seed, the brown, and the yellow uh, have in this world. So when they come together, right, uniting, they can also share. Okay, this is my experience, and though it may not be. Hold on, let me. And though it may not be the same as yours, you see what I'm saying? It may not be the same as yours. I'm still catching hell too.
Right.
See what I'm saying? It's just a different way. So by uniting and coming and being like, okay, this is a shared experience we have on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Then you can see, okay, the full perspective. You see, so when we say understanding, I'm a visual kind of guy. So understanding for me is I like to look at a tree, right? And if you just look at what you can see on the tree, you're not really seeing the tree for its full self, the full body, right? The roots may be the roots of the tree may be even larger and more extensive than the branches and the leaves. You know what I'm saying? So once you get the picture of what's underneath it, what holds it, and what's the foundation of something, then you can really understand it. You know what I'm saying? So um
Absolutely.
with that being said, just knowing and understanding each experience of black, brown, and yellow, and being together and like, okay, well, look out for this. This is how blase blase. So that's how I see that. Um, and we just going to get through these couple of questions, and then we all good. G. So the lost found lost the lost and found are discovered by Fard, the half original man, one day, mean born everlasting. And Sahim, we was going through that degree, and Sahim said to us, always remember a prophet is born amongst his brethren. All right, that's peace. What degree mentions a yellow seed in the lessons, Minister Freedom?
Well, that's what I was thinking about the brown shit. Bro, I was thinking about the 32nd degree, but that's only if you understand that inside the brown is the yellow. So that's what I mean. That's what I would say.
Peace. So, seven power is about brothers having each other's back when teaching, black, brown, and yellow. Indeed, indeed, indeed.
I speak for the five facility, dude.
Indeed. Peace. You know. So anything you want to say before you head out, G?
Man, make sure y'all tap in with the 5% connection, man. If you out there and you interested in getting connected with the culture or know somebody that want to get connected to the culture, send them to the 5%connection.com, man. Click the link, we'll connect you and plug you in with the gods. As well as if you're a god of earth and you out here watching and you want students or you're looking for individuals to teach or looking to connect with people that want to learn, reach out to me, reach out to the 5% connection, man. We got names, phone numbers, and email addresses for just about every city in the country of people that want knowledge. And I got people outside the country who's looking to connect with God so they can learn more about the culture. So let's link up, let's get busy, and let's get to the knowledge of self, man. My goal is to is to make it to where, you know, we got no excuses to why we can't fill up the parliament seats.
Mm,
Um, you know, and no matter what your city is and where you at.
indeed, G. And when, do you have a time when the podcast is gonna estimation when the podcast is gonna come back?
Not yet, man. We're looking at a couple
Indeed,
weeks.
indeed. Yeah, the God has interesting build on the seventh degree of the actual facts and the layers of Mount Everest. That's peace, G. All
Yeah.
right, so you know, let's peace to the God, man. Appreciate you coming on, man. Really appreciate you.
Anytime.
All right. All right. So peace to the gods, peace to the earths, peace to the babies, man. Peace to the babies. Peace to all the civilized people around the universe. Peace.
Peace.